Now you can study applications of Lee-Chatelier principle. Now to explain this, we will consider a few examples, and there I can explain what is the effect of temperature, pressure, concentration, adding inert gas and catalyst. First, temperature effect of temperature. So consider a few reactions. N2 plus 3S2 reversible to 2NS3 delta H equal to negative. B N2 plus O2 reversible to 2NO delta H equal to positive. C PCl5 reversible to PCl3 plus Cl2 delta H equal to plus or delta not necessary. Exothermic, endothermic and other equation. So three equations I considered to explain the application of Lee-Chatelier principle. Now, effect of temperature. First I will cover effect of temperature, then the effect of concentration, effect of pressure, adding inert gas and catalyst. Now according to the statement, if temperature is raised or increased, endothermic reactions are favored. Let's see how it is favored in case of Lee-Chatelier. Now consider this is the reaction taken in a closed vessel. Now with the diagram I will explain about effect of temperature, effect of pressure, effect of concentration, etc. So afterwards we will consider these examples. Consider this is the reaction vessel fitted with the inlet tube. And here take nitrogen, 3 mole of hydrogen and close it. Nitrogen, hydrogen and heated at a constant temperature. Then now nitrogen, hydrogen combine in the closed vessel, they can form ammonia. When N2S2 combine, they can produce ammonia. So when the concentration of ammonia is more, backward reaction is favored. Concentration of N2S2 is more, forward reaction is favored. Like this forward backward reaction occur in the closed vessel, and after some time at a constant temperature, equilibrium is attained. Now consider equilibrium is attained. Now at equilibrium, when temperature changed, what happens? Now consider temperature of the reaction is 150 degrees Celsius. 150 degrees Celsius, this reaction occurs at equilibrium. Now it change 150 into 160 degree. It's only 10 degree rise. I increase to 160 degree. Means when temperature is raised, what happens? But as I already told, forward reaction is exothermic. Forward reaction is exothermic. Now I am increasing the temperature. Then according to Lee-Chatelier, whatever heat is given to the system, that system absorbs the heat. And here, which one can absorb the heat? Whether ammonia or N2 or H2. So answer ammonia. Because we are giving heat, extra heat to the system, then ammonia molecule absorb heat and become more unstable, and they decompose to give back N2H2. Therefore, backward reaction is favored at high temperature, but condition forward reaction is exothermic. So in this reaction, forward exo, hence when you increase the temperature, backward reaction is favored. So in general, as already I told 2-3 times, if forward reaction is exothermic, temperature increases, if temperature increases or increased, backward reaction is favored or yield of ammonia decrease. Next, CET questions or NEET questions based on this equation. This equation is given in the question paper. When the temperature is decreased, yes. First option, ammonia formation is more. Hydrogen yield is less. Nitrogen more reacted. Like this they can give different options. But which one is correct? If temperature is raised, I told temperature raised, then yield of ammonia less or yield of ammonia more, or ammonia remains constant. So answer, yield of ammonia less, because backward reaction is favored. Then same question, if temperature is decreased, yield of ammonia increase. If temperature decreased, yes, yield of ammonia increase, but what about N2H2? N2H2 concentration decreases and ammonia concentration increases at low temperature, and that is studied in the Haber process. In the secondary syllabus, Haber process, low temperature, high pressure, that causes good yield of ammonia. That is according to Leach-Teller principle. That's why take any example, apply this method. Effect of temperature, especially effect. While explaining effect of temperature, yes, consider heat, not in other term, main heat, whether forward exo or endo. If exo endo not given, yes, you cannot answer such questions. Next, effect of concentration. Effect of concentration. For this, we don't need heat term. To explain the effect of concentration on equilibrium. Here, heat term not necessary. Only reactant about the equilibrium state. This is enough. And N2H2 taken in the vessel and heated at constant temperature, equilibrium is attained. At equilibrium, see what happens. Already equilibrium is attained like this. We are increasing concentration of N2H2. When you increase the concentration of nitrogen or hydrogen, then system tends to decrease the concentration. But how it decrease? See the equation. At equilibrium, we are introducing what? Extra nitrogen or hydrogen. When N2 or H2 is added, N2 or H2 or both, N2 or H2 is added through the inlet tube without disturbing anything. That's why I drawn here inlet tube. Through this tube, just open it and pass extra gas, N2 or H2. Means here I increased concentration of reactant at equilibrium. Then, if concentration at equilibrium increases, then this system means here reaction. System andra illi reaction andra. Whenever there is a system at equilibrium, when you apply or when you increase the concentration of reactants, then this system or equilibrium shift towards right side, because the system tends to reduce the concentration of reactant. Then how it reduces? By combining these two. When N2H2 combine more and more, it gives a product. Therefore, by increasing concentration of reactant or reactants, we can increase the yield of product according to D. Chatelier. Next, second point. When ammonia concentration decreases or ammonia is removed from equilibrium state. When ammonia is removed, then system tends to increase the concentration of ammonia because applied stress is cancelled or annulled. Therefore, ammonia, how it increases? By forming ammonia, means ammonia formation occur when ammonia is removed. Therefore, in industry, they will remove ammonia and add N2S2 so that they can get more and more quantity of ammonia. So, in general, increase in the concentration of reactant or decrease in the concentration of product, then forward reaction is favored or yield of product is more. Forward reaction is favored or yield of product is more. This is one point. Second, when concentration of ammonia increase or N2S2 concentration decrease at equilibrium, then product concentration more, reactant concentration less. Next, ammonia, yes, ammonia should decrease, but how it decrease? By decomposing. It decomposes more and more to give N2S2. Therefore, if you increase concentration of product, backward reaction is favored. Decrease concentration of reactant, backward reaction is favored. Therefore, in general, increase in reactant concentration or decrease in product concentration, forward reaction favored. Next, increase in product concentration, decrease in reactant concentration, backward reaction is favored. So this method is applied to all the equations which are said to be equilibrium equation, and concept is same. Equations may be different, but concept same. Next. Pressure effect. Now consider pressure is here 1 atmosphere, or for nitrogen 20 megapascal. Consider at equilibrium, or at equilibrium, let it be 100 atmospheric pressure, equilibrium state. Then when you increase the pressure, or decrease the pressure, what happens? Increase the pressure or decrease the pressure on this equilibrium. And for effect of pressure here, temperature not necessary, heat term not necessary. Now again we can explain by using what N2S2 and ammonia. Effect of pressure. I will tell you general points regarding the effect of pressure. When the pressure is increased at equilibrium, then the system tends to reduce the pressure. But how it reduces? Yes, that depend upon number of moles. 1 mole plus 3 mole gives 2 mole, means 4 equal to 2. In this reaction, 4 mole gives 2 mole. Pressure depend upon number of moles. Pressure directly proportional to number of mole or molecules. Higher the mole, higher the pressure, lower the mole, lower the pressure. So in this reaction, 4 mole changed into 2 moles. Therefore, during reaction, pressure goes on decreasing. Left to right, pressure decreases. Right to left, pressure increases. Then, consider we are increasing the pressure at equilibrium, increasing the pressure at equilibrium about 120, 100 to 120. Then system tends to reduce that extra pressure and reaches to 100. But how it reduces? Increased pressure should be reduced. Then system will shift in that direction so as to nullify the applied stress. Or here the number of moles are decreasing. Here increase the pressure, more should decrease. Therefore, reactants combine more and more to give product. Therefore, high mole to low mole it can shift. Forward reaction is favored. Now, when the pressure is increased, where the equilibrium shift, that is important. Where the number of moles are less, because system tries to decrease the pressure by decreasing the number of moles. Therefore, equilibrium shift towards right side. Next, and attain again equilibrium to get more quantity of ammonia. When pressure is decreased at equilibrium, what happens? Instead of 100, 90 atmosphere. If pressure decrease at equilibrium, yes, system tends to increase the pressure by increasing number of moles. See how it increases number of moles, 2 to 4. It's a backward reaction favored. In this reaction, backward reaction is favored when pressure is decreased, because system or equilibrium can shift towards that direction where number of moles are more. Therefore, in this reaction, to get good yield of ammonia, yes, we have to increase the pressure or decrease the pressure. So answer, increase the pressure, because more yield of ammonia occur when the pressure is increased. Then more and more reactants react to give product ammonia. So this is about effect of pressure, effect of temperature, effect of concentration. And effect of catalyst. In the previous class only I told effect of catalyst. If catalyst is added at equilibrium, yes, both forward reaction, backward reaction speed increases to the same extent. Hence, equilibrium constant K remains same, or equilibrium not affected by equilibrium position or equilibrium state. Catalyst is not affected by equilibrium state, because it can increase the rate of forward reaction, backward reaction to the same extent. Hence, catalyst has no effect on the equilibrium state. Next term. Fourth I told catalyst. And last term, inert gas. By adding inert gas, see what happens. Inert gas says, if inert gas is introduced in the vessel at equilibrium, inert gas introduced at equilibrium in a vessel, and see what happens. So all are in the gaseous phase, and argon is also gas, it is inert gas. But when inert gas is added to the equilibrium state, it can affect, but only when delta N value positive or delta N value negative, and pressure constant at a constant pressure, delta N value negative or positive, then there is the effect of noble gas or inert gas. If delta N is 0 or delta V is 0, addition of inert gas, no effect on the equilibrium. Example, N2 plus O2 reversible to 2NO, there delta N value is 0. H2 plus Cl2 reversible to 2HCl, delta N value is 0. Like this, if delta N value is 0 or delta V volume, H2 plus Cl2, 1 plus 1, 2 mole or 2 volume, 2 liter equal to 2 liter, 2 HCl, 2 liter equal to 2 liter. Therefore, delta V value is 0. If delta V value is 0 or delta N value is 0, then addition of inert gas, no effect on the equilibrium. It has effect only when delta N value positive or negative and at a constant pressure. Now here we can consider, because delta n value here negative, 2 minus 4, answer we get minus 2, means it has some effect, there is a effect of inert gas. Next, very important, when inert gas introduced to the system at equilibrium, inert gas introduced to the system at equilibrium, its partial pressure decreases. See how partial pressure can decrease. Partial pressure equal to mole fraction into total pressure, and with respect to N2, 1, 2, 3, N1 by N1 plus N2 plus N3 into P, mole fraction of N2 into total pressure. This is partial pressure of N2. Next, after adding argon, let it be N4, number of mole of argon. After adding argon, what about N2 or H2R ammonia? Partial pressure N1 by N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 into P. Now see here, denominator value increase, therefore partial pressure value decrease. Means indirectly we are decreasing the pressure, yes, by adding argon or noble gas. When inert gas is added to the system, pressure decreases. This is very important. When inert gas added to the system, pressure decreases. If pressure decreases, system tends to increase the pressure. But how it increases? By increasing number of mole, therefore backward reaction is favored. If noble gas is added in this equilibrium, backward reaction is favored, or yield of ammonia decreases. Yes. Here I told, if inert gas is added, partial pressure decreases or totally pressure decreases. To increase the pressure, system tend to increase the pressure. System tend to increase the pressure by increasing the number of moles. Therefore, backward reaction is favored. This is the effect of inert gas in case of formation of ammonia or Haber process. Similarly, you take noble gas effect in case of other examples like PCl5 reaction. PCl5 reversible to PCl3 plus Cl2. Now here we can take same concept, effect of inert gas. When helium or argon is added to the equilibrium state, then partial pressure decreases. Okay. Whether PCl3 yield is more or less if inert gas is added. Just you have to think. If PCl3 formation more or less by adding inert gas. So answer more, because reactant side 1 mole, product side 2 mole. 1 mole to 2 mole. 1 mole to 2 mole. Therefore, increase in moles occur, increase in pressure occur during the reaction, but we are decrease the pressure by adding noble gas. Therefore, forward reaction favored and increase in concentration of PCl5 occur. Means dissociation of PCl5 is more. When inert gas is added, PCl5 dissociation is more. We can frame the question on this. When inert gas is added to the PCl3 reversible to PCl3 plus Cl2. First option, dissociation of PCl5 less. Second, dissociation of PCl5 more. And third, yield of third one cannot be predicted. Dissociation of PCl5 more, less, and third cannot be predicted, and last none of these. So answer is PCl5 dissociation more, because here number of mole increasing from left to right. So like this, you can apply same concept to all the equilibrium reactions. This is called applications of Leach-Taylor principle to explain equilibrium concept. Okay. So So this is about Least General Principle and its application, and remaining part, there is a equilibrium portion. We will continue with the problems in the next video.